Today we're going to break this boss fight down and discuss the various strategies you can utilize to
Ready to unlock Roblox digital gift cards?
Affirmative.
Minos Prime is one of the most intense boss fights in the game so far. He's fast, relentless, and he hits like a nuclear bomb. Today we're going to break this boss fight down and discuss the various strategies you can utilize to overcome this Prime Soul and release him from the mortal coil. To start, let's take a look at some of his stats. Minos Prime has 130 health, the second highest in the game so far. He has no weaknesses, nor does he have any resistances to different damage types. He does, however, take the regular bonus damage from limb shots and headshots. Minos also has stamina, which dictates how many attacks he can use before he needs to rest, or before he can attack the player again. It basically works like this. He has a set amount of points in his stamina pool, and each attack uses a different amount. Once this hits 0, he'll need to rest. Pretty simple. The rest period for the stamina to recharge is different on most difficulties. These rest periods are 4 seconds on Harmless, 3 seconds on Lenient, and 2 seconds on Standard and Violent. This cooldown period will typically begin after his stamina has been spent. However, during certain animations, the cooldown period can start, will pause during the actual attack, then resume after the attack animation finishes. Parrying Minos' attacks, minus the Seeking Snake, will actually restore some stamina to him, causing him to be a bit more aggressive. I'll leave a link to Locke's video demonstrating these cooldown periods and the cost of these different attacks. He's also helped me a lot with finding these exact values and learning more about how the stamina works for Minos Prime, so huge shout out to him for this help. During Minos' second phase, his stamina cap increases. On Violent when entering phase 2, he essentially has infinite stamina and won't stop attacking you, making the fight a lot tougher with how relentless Minos is. You'll know you have entered phase 2 when Minos says, "Weak," at about half health. Here's how much stamina Minos has on all current difficulties, both during the first phase and during the second phase. We'll cover the cost of each attack as we get to them. For now, let's see what Minos will throw at you and how you can handle each attack.
Prepare thyself.
This is his double kick grounded combo that ends with a Seeking Snake projectile. Each hit does 30 damage and can potentially knock the player into the air, allowing Minos to follow up.
Do you like showing off, but you're also bad at ultrakill? Then you've come to the right place. Here's a foolproof guide and strategy on P ranking P1. It's foolproof because I am a fool and I can consistently P rank it. To start off, you grab the torch and jump at this angle and look to the bottom and then right. Look until you see the stairs, then dash to cancel your momentum, and whiplash the torch to see how it's going. There's obviously faster ways to do it, but dedicating your time to practice that just to shave off a few seconds is stupid and a waste of time. Doing it this way should bring you to the mouth in about 15 seconds or less. After being gobbled up and exploring the rectum, you'll find the flesh prison, aka FUP. When you see him, projectile boost him until he gives birth like a seahorse. Use your split coins to annihilate his kids, but leave one to live with the trauma of his siblings dying. Now it's time to go absolutely ham on this ugly bastard. Unload absolutely everything, from shotgun swapping to saw traps to projectile boost to CBT, to deal as much DPS as possible. If he heals, you shoot the last infant and continue your relentless assault on him. People will tell you to core nuke, but if you're a fool like me, that's hard to pull off consistently, and also leaving one child alive allows for good DPS. Now it's time for the main attraction. Save your souls for the actual fight and don't bother trapping him during his venting in general chat, and just railcoin him instead. I used my drill because I like the drill. Now the most important part of this fight is to not do anything you don't need to do. Since Minos moves around like a monkey with ADHD, you might feel the need to match his energy, but this is stupid. Let's go through his attacks. When he jumps in the air, he'll probably say "Die!" or
Crush!
and ground pound while summoning a shockwave. Jump after him when he goes airborne so it's easy to jump over the shockwave.
Thy end is now!
Should be your favorite attack, as you only need to hold A and circle around him. While he's missing his punches, you put down a cheeky saw trap. Try to stay in there so he actually gets hit by it. Next up is
Prepare thyself.
which is the same thing, except you have to parry the snake. It is imperative that you parry the snake. He's in the air, parry the snake. He's inside you, parry the snake. He's on the other side of the fucking continent, parry the snake. If you're able to parry the snake, all the ladies will think you are a handsome gentleman. If you can't parry the snake, you'll never get this P rank, and you'll have 5 years of bad luck. Do you know what happened after I fucked up this parry? My dog died from bone cancer after a helicopter crashed into him. Don't forget to parry Judgment when you can. However, don't parry Judgment when you can't, because it's unparryable. Whenever Minos Prime says
Judgment.
you gotta stop in your tracks immediately and punch him in the dick. Sadly, V1 has no self-control and you accidentally pop one of his balls, causing a massive explosion. You need to dash away. So remember, when he says Judgment, hit and run, poke and ghost, screw and bolt. However, sadly, you punch his dick so hard it actually falls off, so he can't parry it anymore in phase 2. He still has mastered the art of ball explosion, so instead of hitting and running, you just run. Does that make sense? Also, if he's in the air, you're fucked. So don't be in the air. If you follow all these steps carefully, or as long as you parry the snake, the P rank is essentially free.